Welcome back to TechKidFX for another Quant price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you the latest developments that have been happening here on the Quant chart, which has managed to break above a key area of resistance at around the $147.9 mark. We have also fully maximized a target area that I had here on the charts, and before I get into that part of the technical analysis, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also check out the channel membership. And allow me to start the video here on the 4-hour chart by first giving you a recap of what has been happening, where you can see that Quant, after making it to an all-time high, we started the bear market where we had been seeing lower prices in this ABC corrective structure, which took us back to around the $40.1 mark. And after seeing the bear market low, we started a very nice bounce to the upside in a move that has been obeying the Elliot structures, where you can see that I have this Elliot structure in blue having the wave 5, making its peak at around the $229 mark, and also completing the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upside. And after seeing the high for that first wave to the upside, whatever we expect next is a corrective structure in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2, and I believe that is what had been playing out over here, where you can also see that I have this ABC corrective structure that we expected in the formation of a second wave because of its corrective nature. And I also had a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of this wave 2, and it is within this target area that I expected to see the low for that second wave. And you can see that this ABC corrective structure gave us a low at around the $94.4 mark in what I'm terming as the low for that second wave to the lower side. And after seeing the low for that wave 2, whatever we expect next is a bounce to the upside in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 3. And by first sketching out a minimum target area to the upside in the formation of this wave 3, by connecting the trend-based Fibonacci from the low of the first wave to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave, that gives me a minimum target area to the upside in the formation of that wave 3 at the fib level 1.618, which perfectly lies at around the $400.1 mark, and that is the minimum that I'm expecting Quant to do on the long-term scenarios. And getting to the short-term scenarios based on the formation of this higher Elliot wave count 3, which is an impulsive wave, and because of its impulsive nature, we also expected to see a 5-wave structure in formation within that higher Elliot wave count 3, and I believe that is what is playing out over here, where you can see that I have this Elliot wave structure in red, having that as the first wave. Then we saw a wave 2, and I believe whatever we had been seeing over here is the formation of a wave 3 before we see a wave 4, then continue pushing even higher in the formation of that wave 5 to the upside. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this wave 3, which is going to give me the short-term scenarios that I'm expecting to play out here on the Quant chart, and by first give you a minimum target area that I expected this wave 3 to the upside to do by connecting the trend-based Fibonacci from the low of the first wave to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave. That gives me a minimum target area to the upside in the formation of that wave 3 at the fib level 1.618, which perfectly lies at around the $163.6 mark, which is a target area that we have fully maximized here on the Quant chart, and we have made a high at around the $165.5 mark, which means we have fully maximize the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 3, and that gives me the short-term scenarios that I'm expecting to play out. And the very first short-term scenario that I'm expecting to play out is there are chances that Quant might continue pushing even higher given the support of the area at around the $147.9 mark. Given that we have that support, there are chances of continuing to push even higher and break above the fib level 1.618 in the formation of that wave 3, because that was just a minimum target area to the upside in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 3. That is the very first possible scenario that we can expect over here, but that can only happen in case we see a retest of that key area of support at around the 147.9, and then see an increase in the buying momentum and continue pushing higher, manage to break above the fib level 1.618 and continue showing a lot of strength to push even higher. But in case that doesn't happen and we continue seeing a bit of a retracement, then that means that the high that we made yesterday is the high for that higher Elliot wave count 3, and after seeing the high for that wave 3, whatever we expect next is a bit of a corrective structure in the formation of this wave 4, and using the Fibonacci's to sketch out a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of this wave 4 by connecting the Fibonacci's from the low of the second wave to the high of that wave 3. that gives me a minimum retracement area in the formation of that wave 4 between the fib level 0.5 and the fib level 0.618, and I can extend the target area back to the fib level 0.382, so that my target area lies between the $141.2 mark and the $126.2 mark, and it is within this target area that I'm expecting to see the low for this fourth wave to the lower side. And once that happens, then we can expect a bit of a bounce to the upside in the formation of that wave 5 to the upside, and in the formation of that wave 4, which is a corrective wave, we also expect to see an ABC corrective structure in formation, and we also need to have an invalidation point for this wave 4 to the lower side, because our wave 4 should not retrace into the high of the first wave. So here on the charts I have marked the wave 1 high at around the $133.2 mark. So in case we see lower prices in the formation of this wave 4, we need to continue holding above the $133.2 mark. In case we get to that target area here on the charts, then this Elliott wave structure to the upside will get invalidated. So we need to hold above the key area of support at around the $133.2 mark, and using the Fibonacci's once more, I can restructure this target area so that we can have it above the $133.2 mark. And upon restructuring this target area to the lower side in the formation of that wave 4, it now lies between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.5, which is between the $141 mark and the $133.5 mark, and that is the minimum that we can expect Quant to do in case we continue seeing lower prices, lose the key area of support at around the $147.9 mark, maybe see a retest of that key area of support before we fully maximize the formation of that wave 4. And we also have some chart patterns, that is candlesticks, that we have information over here that we cannot ignore, where you can see that yesterday, once we made our peak at around the $165.4 mark, we saw this very long wick to the upper side, which is an indication that the sellers have started to take control of the market, and the buyers are losing momentum to continue pushing the price even higher. And this is the very first indication that we can expect a bit of a corrective structure here on the Quant chart in what could be the formation of this wave 4 to the lower side. And that is all that I wanted to prepare you for here on the Quant chart, and also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported on the RSI. On the RSI, we are trading at around the 57 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movements to the upper side and also to the lower side. Also taking a look at the MACD, on the MACD we have been able to print a bearish cross, but we are yet to see an increase in the selling momentum. So let's be prepared for that movement to the lower side in the formation of that wave 4, and in case we see an increase in momentum, then there are chances of managing to break above the fib level 1.618 and continue pushing even higher and have an extended wave 3 to the upside here on the Quant chart. And that's the update.